So your next question is, what if the district doesn't accept the diagnosis? And I assume you're talking about a medical diagnosis of autism. Schools don't have to do that. So a school actually, if you look at it the other way, a school that can find a child eligible under autism even without a medical diagnosis. So they don't go hand in hand. And to use the correct terminology, diagnosis is what you bring in from a medical doctor, and eligibility is what the school finds, one of those categories that makes a child eligible for an IEP under the Individuals with Disability Education Act, the IDEA. So schools do not have to accept that. Parents do like the autism, we find, because they want to use the ESA, the Empowerment Scholarship Funds, because for that category of autism, the funding is approximately $25,000. There are some factors that go into it, so it's a little less or a little more depending on the school is, for instance, a Title I school. So for other disability categories such as reading, a specific learning disability, the funds is much less, hundreds of dollars, maybe up to $3,000 for OHI, which is other health impaired, $3,000. So that's the reason we see that the parents want the autism. I like an autism eligibility if a child has autism, as opposed to ED, emotional disability, or OHI, which is sometimes what schools will categorize the child as, because I want the teachers to understand that with the autism, if the child is acting out, it's due to that disability. I don't think that gen ed teachers actually appreciate and understand that a child acting out is acting out because of autism. They think it's more volitional, or that the child is intending to do that and has control over themselves. So with the autism, I think some teachers are more understanding. So what we do is, if the school isn't buying into it and the school's done its own evaluation, and we have had many cases like this, what we'll do is we'll tell the parents to request an independent educational evaluation, and there are some providers that we do prefer, but it depends, it's case by case. So we would meet the child and say, this evaluator is good for you, that evaluator. And then we ask the evaluator, does this child have autism? See, and the reason that the schools are not so much accepting it, they may see that the child has autism from like Dr. Milmed, but unless the autism is interfering with the child's ability to access the curriculum, or then there is no need to find that the child has an autism eligibility. Think of everyone in Silicon Valley. There are lots of people we know who have high functioning and do not necessarily need services in school, or did not need services in school. So the school looks at the educational need. Is the autism impacting the child at school? And if so, then you look to see whether the child is eligible under that category. But for the most part, we do see a lot of children who have a medical diagnosis of autism being categorized by the school as other health impaired or emotional disabilities.